Hi, I'm Tony Margratelli, Chairman at ICPA. Normally I'd say it's the first week of January, but it's not because it's actually Christmas Eve. Yes, and I'm in a good mood. Of course I am. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm doing this video a little bit early this year. But what's happened in the last month since my last video blog? Well, we had an election, didn't we? We know how that one turned out. We had an election. Half the country seems to be underwater at this moment in time. It hasn't half rained, hasn't it? Let's say, yeah, half the country seems to be underwater. Um, oh, yes, practice evolution. We've settled the dates for Manchester. So now Manchester is on the, better get this right, Tone, Manchester is on the 22nd of October. Check out the website. We're booking in speakers and exhibitors there. So Manchester Practice Evolution now settled for 22nd of October. I suppose it's time for another one of my in practice blogs. Well, January is always a time for crystal ball gazing, isn't it? And looking forward into the future and what's going to be coming. And this January is going to be no different from any other, I suppose. But of course, it is the beginning of a whole new decade. It's going to be the 2020s. So I just want to give you a few thoughts about my own view on accountancy in the 2020s, what's going to be happening, how it's going to be changing. And to me, I think the 2020s is going to see an even greater switch or dependency for accountancy practice on technology. We are going to get deeper and deeper into technology. We're going to be using it for the benefit of our practice and for the benefit of our clients. Of course we are. In the last issue of our magazine Accounting Practice, we had a wonderful article by Paul Meissner in Australia, who was saying that larger practices have an accounting firm to look after them, whereas small businesses have accountants. Yeah, larger businesses have an accounting firm, small practices have an accountant. And I think accountants are going to be changing because in the past, we used to only have to really and honestly, things that changed was tax. We had tax budgets, one a year, etc. And we used to keep up to date with accounts, and we had accounting standards to keep up to date with. But over the years, the increasing role that technology is playing has meant that we have to keep up to date with technology, which is moving as fast, if not faster, than changes in taxation. So we're going to have to our practice will change. It will be more technology dependent. And what that means is that we as accountants are going to have to understand technology, and we're going to have to treat it as another branch of our profession. We're going to have to understand it. And that doesn't mean just to say, oh, how do you send an email? How do you use a particular piece of software? We're going to have to keep an eye on all sorts of tech developments in terms of apps, in terms of APIs. And as I keep saying, in my humble opinion, challenger banks are going to make a huge difference to our profession as we're going forward. APIs and open banking, massive difference. We're going to be more tech orientated, and that means we're going to have to spend more time, thinking about tech and getting an understanding of it. In the past, we would always think in terms of a classic accountancy practice. You had accounting staff, you had taxation staff, and you had admin staff, and you had professionals who were either partner level or board level for each of those departments. Well, now I'm going to add that accounts are going to have to start thinking about bringing in partners and directors who are responsible for tech, who are going to have to make sure that the tech that's being used is current and is exactly right for the job, and the training of the tech for the clients, etc. I think the 2020s are going to become, the age of tech. It's going to be the accountant as the accountant as a technology, the accountant as a technocrat. We have got to embrace tech. And I'm not just talking about cloud. Cloud's de rigueur. Cloud is old news. If you're not in the cloud by now, I'm astonished how many people there are keep going out there rattling on about how you've got to get into the cloud, because I don't actually know virtually any practice that already isn't in the cloud. It's all about what's coming up next. It's all about being aware of what's coming up next and working it out. Is that right for my practice? I think, as I say, the 2020s are going to become very, very interesting times for us all. And it's all going to revolve around these things: computers and the internet and our phones and tech. Can be interesting times. Well, as I say, it's Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve, of course, is the season to be jolly. Of course, it is December. It is the season to be jolly. And if you have children and small children, it's a magical time, isn't it? Christmas, a magical time. January, of course, is another issue altogether. 'Tis the season to do damn tax returns, isn't it? Those final accounts and tax returns, to get them sorted. Yes, I know. You do see some people putting out everywhere all over to, oh, I've done all my tax returns at the end of November. Oh, isn't life grand? And if you have managed to do that, well done you, and well done your staff. But if not, like a huge number of accountants throughout the country, you're going to be looking at getting a few of those miscreant clients' tax returns and accounts sorted in the last month. And you know what? At the beginning of the year, if I'd have asked you to write down their names of who would bring their stuff in the last month, you're going to get the same. You'd probably be 100% right, wouldn't you? But as I say, it is what it is. We've got to get them done. Just a few things that we've done in our practice for a long time now that may or may not help you. Obviously, you're writing to these clients, emailing these clients and talking about getting the figures in again and getting the books in to get the return done to save them money. Three things that we do, have done, and we point out to the clients, is we will not see clients at all in the month of January. If they bring their records in, they're not going to get to see me. They will just drop records in. No one will be spending time with them when they bring it in, because time is too tight. Secondly, we would point out that when the accounts are produced and finished and the tax return is ready to go, there will be no meetings, no discussions in any depth whatsoever about the results of it. They will be told, clients are told quite simply, this is tax and this is what it is, because, there is insufficient time to sit down there and discuss in any depth. This is what you're pointing out to them, that by being so late, you are not getting the best benefit out of your accountant, are they? And finally, of course, one little thing, point out, no pay, no file. If you don't get paid, not going to file. It's as simple as that. There are plenty of other things you can do, but you know what? I don't want to depress you, because it is Christmas Eve, and you know what? I'm absolutely certain. One thing I know about accounts in practice, one thing I do know, throughout the period since the imposition of the filing deadline, up and down the country, when you look through the night, you see lights burning in January, throughout January, and it's nearly always in accountant's office, because accountants do not let their clients down. Clients let us down, but we do not let them down. Accountants throughout the country can be working long hours, late into the night. And don't forget, there's staff, and I do mean all your staff as well, can be working really hard trying to get things done and filed on time. They're not probably going to be helped by tech issues from HMRC. Things will go wrong in January, and they always seem to, don't they? But at the end of the day, the one thing I say, accountants, do not give up on their clients. Do not let their clients down. What you must try and do is make sure that your clients do not let you down. Your clients respect you, and that means they should not leave their affairs to the last minute. They should not expect you to work through the night to help them out. This is something you have to seriously think about. If it's happening to you on a regular basis, by the same clients each year, they're the ones you've got to target and think about disengaging, aren't they? Anyway, it is Christmas Eve. It is the season to be jolly. And when you read this, Christmas will be over, and I hope you all had a great Christmas and are looking forward to the 2020s.